As the end of the spring semester approaches, many college freshmen are preparing for finals, but for a select few of student athletes, their minds aren't on finals. They are thinking whether they should go pro next year and earn the big bucks and just give up their scholarship. Well, that scholarship, the one that they earned athletically, is now going to be forfeited and can't go to any other student. Is that fair to students now that are paying thousands of dollars in loans and working their butt off for grants and awards? No. Many people believe that college basketball should get rid of the one and done rule. RJ, what are your thoughts about college players leaving after 1 year of college basketball?
I think it's really a gray area in college athletics at this point. You know, obviously, especially with basketball is what we're focusing on. NFL has that rule, you have to be 3 years removed out of high school. Same should apply for the basketball. Either if you're going to make them go to college, make them stay for at least 3 years. But if you're not going to make it, don't say they have to come for 1 year, because that's really like a tease for all of the NCAA. You know, these guys get a scholarship for 1 year. Okay, obviously they're in a money-making sport, but they pretty much use and abuse it, you know, and 9 out of 10 times a scholarship isn't enough to get these kids into their school, their, you know, whichever one that they're focused in on. And that's where more of these problems occur when you look down the road, because if they really use that scholarship to the fullest like they should, like you look at Kimball Walker here, going to graduate as a junior, has another year of eligibility, but he did what it takes in the books. And then you look at guys like Greg Oden, who probably should have stayed a couple more years. You know, he ruined his stock. You know, and there's other players, especially, you know, Brandon Jennings is having a great year in the league, but he didn't even go to college. He said, if you're going to make me wait a year, I'm going to go overseas. Ended up having a tough time. So it's kind of letting these kids trial and error, and giving them more opportunity in school would be better, because you are a student athlete first. So you're a student first, and education can go a whole lot longer in your life than playing a sport professionally.
Thank you, RJ. What are your opinions on college basketball's one and done rule and the effect on people who don't play sports and the scholarships it takes away?
One and done's not really great for college basketball. It kind of ruins that whole team concept. You know, you can't really build up a team. Like DeMarcus Cousins, he just came, literally went to school for a semester to half his grade so he'd be eligible for the entire basketball season, and then just left. It really ruins teams' chemistry, and you know, it does take scholarships away from students like us. You know, instead of giving another student an academic scholarship for someone who really needs it, these kids are just going in there and going to school for half a semester and taking up a whole scholarship. And personally, I think they should have to go for at least 2 years, so you can build at least some sort of repertoire with the team. You know, have some similarity for some congruity for the fans, because you know, like Kentucky, it's tough. The fans have, you know, it's a revolving door now with John Calipari in there. You got a new starting five every year, so it's tough to really, you know, grab onto a team.
Thank you. Professor Gilday, what are your opinions, since college basketball season is over, on the superstar freshman deciding whether to go pro or stay in school?
If I were a superstar in any field, regardless of age, I would try to get as much money as I could out of it. That would probably be especially the case for a lot of these freshman athletes who most likely aren't real college students or college material in the first place, that they're just treating this 1 year in college as minor league preparation, and good preparation against really good competition, for the most part with good coaches, preparation for a professional career. And if they get the advice from scouts, NBA scouts, from agents, from their family, from their coach, that they should go pro, yeah, I don't see any problem with that.
Thank you. Nate, what are your thoughts about college basketball's one and done rule, and has there been any player in recent years that has actually earned their scholarship?
The one and done rule for college basketball is extremely frustrating, because you know, all of us here at Springfield, none of us are going professional in any sport anytime soon. And for someone who's that talented to take away, scholarship money from someone else, it's frustrating to see that they'll take that scholarship, have a free ride for as long as they want, but then simply choose to use it for 1 year. And that's scholarship money that, I know I have several friends at UConn who could have used some of that money to pay for their education, because none of them are D1 athletes. But the one and done rule, I think it's good that it encourages kids to go to school, and I think that I'm glad to see that the NBA took that course of action. The only problem is that too many kids insist on doing 1 year before leaving. There are a few student athletes who stand out in the past couple of years, who've actually stayed, before booking it to the NBA, and although they've left early, have earned their degree in the process. I know Jay Williams, but then also Emeka Okafor of UConn, and most recently Kemba Walker of the 2011 champs. He has enough credits to be able to walk for graduation in May, and if he does and he leaves 1 year early, as people are saying, so be it, because by the time his playing career is done and over with, he'll already have his degree in hand to go on to do something else in life. So I think that's pretty impressive.
Thank you, Nate.
You're welcome.
2, 1.
If college basketball wants to change the abuse that these college freshmen are doing, they need to get rid of the age rule of 19 and adopt the College Football League rule, is where when you're 3 years removed from high school, you can declare for the NFL draft. That's a good rule because it provides players with more experience and more preparation for the big leagues. I'm Frank Barbuti, reporting for SCTV3. Back to you guys in the studio.